Hi there, and welcome to this session here that is titled Staying in Your Power. And what is exactly meant by this certain title here? Maybe you're pretty familiar with the feeling that it's really easy for you to be confident and comfortable when you're by yourself. But as soon as you begin to see other people, this sensation of confidence and comfort begins to decrease. Maybe there are certain people in your circles, the places where you come, that can really trigger you and can really make you lose power and the sensation of empowerment you have about yourself. In this session here, we're going to take a closer look at how we can stay in our power. How can we, when we meet other people, feel like we're truly being ourselves and be more relaxed within our own body. When I grew up, I had a lot of difficulties staying in my power, so to speak. Whenever I would meet other people I didn't know, I would simply look straight down into my shoes and be so incredibly embarrassed of myself. Growing up, I had a lot of challenges, and one of the biggest ones was my great stuttering. So whenever I got the slightest nervous, I would feel really bad about myself and incredibly shameful about the person I was. And I was always very, very surprised because when I was back at home, I felt much more comfortable. I felt much more at ease in myself. But as soon as I stepped out the door and I met new people, I would feel the complete opposite. I would get very nervous. And I would feel like I was almost not wearing any clothes, to be honest with you. I feel like people could see through me and that all of my different difficulties and challenges were really being exposed as soon as I met anybody. Besides meeting new people, there were also people close to me that could really trigger my sensation of shame and nervousness. Whenever I would meet these people here, I would immediately feel embarrassed about myself. I had such a hard time staying within myself, and I felt completely powerless whenever I was meeting them and engaging with them. And what I remember most from all of these experiences here was the great sensation of shame. But it was actually not so much the shame of how I was acting, of the different things I was doing in the moment. But there was a lot of shame following the certain events. Maybe I embarrassed myself. Maybe I made something that I would consider to be a mistake. But the worst thing was actually the time afterwards. If I had somehow done something in the beginning of the evening that I felt terrible about, maybe I felt like I was acting in a certain way that was stupid or whatnot, I would be feeling shameful about myself for the rest of the evening, and I just couldn't shake this feeling off of me. And after experiencing this over and over again, I began to wonder, how can I take a step out of this sensation here? How can I be more comfortable staying in myself and staying in my power also when I meet other people? How can I let go of this shameful feeling here and be more of myself and show other people the best side of myself? First of all, I thought to myself, well, I need to be confident. Of course, I need to be confident so I can be great around other people. And while that was also the case that I needed a lot of confidence, my very first step was actually not so much in being confident. My very first step is also what I want to share with you today. The very first step actually lies in acceptance. Think about it. What is the most powerful thing you can do when you're truly embarrassed about yourself, when you truly feel ashamed of yourself and you have a hard time staying in your power? It's to accept yourself and show compassion for yourself. In the very end, this is truly what we see when we meet other people who are very, very confident. It does not mean that they do not make mistakes. It does not mean that they do not sometimes do something that some might consider stupid. It's because they accept themselves for who they really are. And this really makes a great impression on everyone who's around. So instead of trying to act all confident, focus in on how you can accept yourself in the greatest way possible. Once you accept yourself, once you acknowledge yourself for the person you really are and love and accept all of your flaws, you can finally begin to move on and enjoy the company of the people you are around, even those that you might be feeling a little bit nervous around. And the best way we can begin to accept ourselves and acknowledge ourselves is truly to nurture and practice great self-care towards ourselves. So the next time you feel truly ashamed about yourself, maybe you're in a certain company of a large group and you feel like you really did something that was not okay and you feel embarrassed about yourself, I would like you to practice a certain technique. I would like you to imagine that the part of yourself that feels shameful, that feels doubtful, that feels insecure is a small, innocent child. A small child basically within yourself. And then I would like you to imagine that you're now being a parent towards yourself. In other words, you're taking care of the certain part of yourself that is shameful, insecure, and feels really, really uncomfortable in this moment here. What is the greatest practice of self-care that you can do in this moment here? How can you take great care of yourself when you feel shameful, when you feel unaccepted, when you feel not worthy of being loved? Imagine yourself as a parent that has to take care of yourself. And as soon as you begin to engage with this image here, with this vision, the answer to the self-care, to the self-love, and to the acceptance usually becomes much more clear. A really great sentence that I used so many times over and over again when I was feeling shameful, fearful, and all these kinds of difficult emotions was to tell myself, I see you, I love you, and I'm here for you. I learned this sentence here a long time ago, and I remember the first time I said it, I was like, oh, what is this? This is not going to work. I had such a hard resistance towards this sentence here, and I began realizing that the reason why I was so resistant towards it was because it was a completely new language to me. I've never really practiced saying to myself that I loved myself and that I was here for myself. All these things here were so new to me and it seemed so incredibly strange. But the more I began engaging with this vision here, the more I began engaging with this technique here, the easier it became for me over time. I got better and better at taking better care of myself. And the more I began practicing this, the more I also began accepting myself. And once I began accepting myself, I was able to speak more fluently. I was able to breathe calmly around other people. And even the people that really tend to trigger my nervousness, tended to trigger my discomfort, all of a sudden I could be in the presence of them as if they were regular people. So practicing this is not necessarily easy, but if you find that this sentence here triggers something within you, that there's a certain resistance towards these words here, it only means that you need to look more into it. Now, this is a highly effective tool, and when practiced again and again, it makes an incredible difference. At the same time, like I said, it can also be really difficult. It can be a completely new language to us. And if you find yourself struggling with this, if you find that you feel this sensation of nervousness around other people, you have a hard time, so to speak, staying in your power, I would really love to help you. And that's why I'm giving away 10 free consultations for people who would like to dig deeper into their own power and learn how to master themselves in any scenario. If you want to learn this and dig deeper into this, feel free to reach out to me either by email or direct message. And the two of us will sit down in a personal consultation and look at your situation and your life. We'll find the right tools that you need in order to create real, tangible change for yourself. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. Beside that, now you have a tangible tool that you can actively use whenever you feel the sensation of losing your power around other people. And beside that, take great care of yourself. See how much you can allow this self-acceptance to happen. And beside that, may you have a great day. Bye.